You didn't even hear the burp. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, hello there everybody. How the devil are we all? I am very well, albeit a sweaty Betty. Thank you for asking. It has been a very warm day here. Sticky as well. Not like dry and hot, but like just clammy. Been a little bit unpleasant in all honesty. So yeah, so that's why the camera's off, because you know the window's got to be open. The fan's on blast. Everything's happening. Okay, it's just the fucking way it is. You come to terms with it. Oh, did you do that picture, Lord Fruitus? Okay. Well, that's just what I look like right now. I'm not on camera, so you can't see it, but this is approximately what I look like right now. Just saying. Perfect lippy. You know? Well, you know about this isn't just me at the club. This is just Kev on a Tuesday. This is just Kev, you know, vegging on the couch. It's all good. How are we all? Are we well? I hope so. Is this what Kev looks like when he combs his hair? Yes. It's just the hair that's the problem with me. And I'm not even watching the European Cup final, so shut up. I'm not even doing that. I don't even know that Paris Saint-Germain are 2-0 up against Inter Milan. I don't even know what you're talking about. But there we go. I am melting, so... Oh, is it hot in France as well? It's fair enough. We should ban this summer, lark. And the winter. Just have, like, all year round, just have kind of nice weather. About to make a massive sandwich, so doing fab. Oh, fuck yes. I hope you're bringing enough to share with the whole class. Otherwise, I shall be having to confiscate it. Okay? These are the rules. I don't make them, I just enforce them. With a Stasi-esque brutality. Anyway. So. Chatterinos, how are we all? Hello there, Katie, how are you? Didn't know someone got banned last night, Kev. I'll check last night's stream later. Oh, yeah, I don't know what that was about at all. They seem very angry that they were banned as well. To anyone, if you get banned, it's not me banning you. It's the mods, who, to be fair, I have given absolute free rein to behave like, you know, little jumped up Hitlers, if they want to. I've given them free rein to ban with reckless, dare I say, gay abandon. The weather says 26 degrees Celsius, but I know it to be a lie. I don't actually think it's that hot here. It is hot, but it's mainly the kind of sweatiness. It's the fact that it's like heavy, you know, like there's moisture in the air, so it's just, you feel like you're moving through porridge. It's fucking horrible. Like I can put up with temperature. Like, I can put up with 30 fucking degrees if it's, like, dry. Because then you can just sit in the shade or, like, cool down with a cool, refreshing glass of refrigerated orange juice. Or perhaps an ice cream. And you're absolutely fucking lovely. Nice and warm. Refreshing. Or beer garden. Oh, my God. There's nothing beats, right? Really hot day. Baking hot day. But, again, dry. Beer garden under the parasol tent, and that first cold bit of brew that goes down you. Oh my God, it radiates pure orgasmic joy through your entire system. It's fucking brilliant. Literally nothing beats it. Oh, but there we go. But no, this is just fucking humid and horrible. Very unpleasant. Hello there, Mr. Peter Wood. Mr. Peter Wood. 26 is hot for you, Brits. In August, it gets up to 42 degrees Celsius in my hometown. What the fuck? How does it get that hot in Bulgaria? What? I thought Bulgaria was just, like, quite cold. Although it does border Turkey, so... Yeah, actually, what the fuck am I talking about? Shut up, Kev. You've played Euro Truck Simulator. You know the rough geographic levels of where these people are at. Return of the sausages. Well, yeah, if someone wants to trigger that noise off, more than welcome. Who's dressed Kev up in drag? This isn't drag, this is just how the Kev be. Okay, this is my resting look. Perfect lippy. I'll be honest with you, the one thing I didn't apply today was my absolutely perfect wing mascara. I left that off for some reason, didn't I, Lord Fritos? I don't know why I would do that. But other than that, perfect. I've got a video shitting on
this
Veolia, the shady company behind South London's bins. Okay, I'm interested because we do have a bin-related story coming up in a second. Yeah. Thank you, the Anglo punk. Anyway, right, let's move forward, shall we? Because I'm totally not even watching the football and being distracted. If you're on the Twitch machines, hello there. You can hit the follow button. You can subscribe. You can subscribe with Amazon Prime. You can give subs to the community. You can do bits messages. You can do super chats. The text to speech is available on both of those. I've got a Patreon. I've got what else have I got? PayPal. I've got Discord, Blue Sky, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, etc., etc. All of those things. If you're on YouTube, oi the fuck oi, you can hit the follow button. No, you can't. You can subscribe for nothing, for nout. You can thumb up the video. You can do the bell button to get notifications, etc. You can become a member for 99 pence. You can give memberships to the community, and you can do super chats, which I will read out occasionally at some point. Yeah. Anywho, it's fast becoming Bingland. I see what you've done there, as Friends Rust. I see what you've done there. Yes, so shall we start off, dear Chatterinos, with Woke Watch? You know, I like to keep a track of the absurd, ridiculous bullshit that the right wing call woke. Because it doesn't really mean anything, it's just this thing that I've chosen to dislike, or this thing that the media told me to dislike. Therefore it's woke. And we've got an absolute belter, roundabout. Apparently roundabouts are now woke. That's, I believe, traffic islands, they're called in America. Apparently, the roundabout is Britain's most woke roundabout. So apparently there's some sort of fucking league table system for the most woke roundabout, which I was unaware of. I don't know what makes it woke, and neither does anyone else. That's the point. The culture war is there to distract, baffle, annoy, confuse, and confound. And to get people to talk about literally anything else than the fact that the rich are economically fucking us to death. Yeah. What is this? This is from July 2023. The red areas go up to 42, though they weren't specifically my area. Oh, and that's Bulgaria, yeah. Okay. We call them rotaries. We actually just call them roundabouts. I've heard Americans refer to them as traffic islands. Okay? I was trying to be inclusive. I was trying, ironically, to be woke about woke roundabouts. Whatever you call them, those things. Anyway, this is Bulgaria, which is fucking hot. Literally. Anyway. So. What you won't see going around the woke roundabout, especially because it's in Essex rather than in London. No, sorry, South London rather than in Birmingham. But what you won't see going around woke roundabouts or non-woke roundabouts are fucking bin vans in Birmingham, because that's still going. Oh God, I hate the Labour Party so much. Oh God, they're such cunts. Right. So this has been rumbling on now for fucking months. They were essentially trying to steal lots of money from some of the most hard-working and necessary workers in the city, as well as trying to sack many of them and make their lives generally harder. And so the workers have gone, no, 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 fuck that noise, we're going on strike. They've been at ACAS, which is the conciliation service, since the beginning of May, so basically for a month now, and they came up with what was called a ballpark agreement, that being it was somewhere near, the kind of deal that would be acceptable to both sides. And they were both going to go back to their own sort of respective sides and talk about it and all the rest of it, except that the council then stabbed them in the fucking back by watering down the deal that they'd tentatively agreed to at ACAS. So we have a Birmingham City Council, Labour, stabbing union workers in the back, down to the leadership of that council, Labour councillors, and the administrators appointed by the national government, which is the Labour Party. Can I ask the person questioned there, pictured there, Sharon Graham, the leader of Unite the Union, why are you still affiliated to the Labour Party when they seem so intent on destroying your workers and their rights? They seem so intent on not negotiating with you in good faith whatsoever. Why are you paying to be in an abusive relationship? Politically speaking, of course. Why are you doing this? It's a fucking disgrace. So this is just going to rumble on and on and on. And now in my local area, of course, we have the bins are piling up again. We haven't had a collection in several days. A couple of weeks now, basically. So we've got the fucking bins piling up, which means the cat-sized rats are going nowhere. They're going absolutely fucking nowhere. Except to presumably fucking grow in size or something. I don't know. Why was she wearing Road Wireless clothes? Presumably she was being interviewed. I'll give her that. She was probably being interviewed, so that's the thing there. Okay. So yeah, my city's a shithole, and this country is a bigger shithole. Have the cat-sized rats driven off the cats? No, I think the cat-sized rats and the cats have come to a kind of uneasy truce. They haven't yet joined together and are working for our downfall, which could happen at any point, honestly. The humans are ripe for the taking in this city, and indeed this country. If rats and cats ever unite, the landed gentry will shake in their boots, or whatever the fuck that thing was about the anarchists and the communists. If ever the red and black unite. Anyway. So yeah, talking of bins, I don't really know a lot about this, but someone sent it to me a second ago, so we're going with it. The shady company behind South London's bins. Let's have a look.
This is not Croydon. This is Birmingham.
Hello.
Which looks no different to, which has had a horrible business with its bins over the past 6 months.
True.
And this is
Stop
Sheffield.
it. Get some help.
Thank you, Cupcake Chaos. 52 months. I'm an old frog. You are an old frog. God bless you.
Also recently, where binmen have been on strike over cuts to staffing. And this is the Veolia depot in Croydon, where things might not be as bad just yet, but they could be soon, because the council here in my London borough recently reappointed French company Veolia to manage our waste, despite firing them.
The fucking French again. The fucking French again. Unbelievable. Did you also see this story from the French this week? Unbelievable stuff. Not only are they fucking up our country, they're fucking up their own country as well. Right? Because... Oh, can I find the fucking thing? Ah! Where is it? Where are you bastard? What the fuck? Where... Here we go. Right. So, France, apparently, is to ban smoking outdoors at most places, including beaches, parks and near schools. Now, some people will suggest that this is a good thing, actually, and that this will help the French people with their health and all the rest of it. To which I say, poo-poo. Okay? Certainly not wee-wee, because that would be a completely different thing. How are the French going to seem cool and sexy and brooding if they're not allowed to smoke a cigarette seductively whilst lit by one light bulb above them as the smoke twirls in physical poetry in black and white, and then it pans out? Fin. Come on now, France. You've got this. This is the only way you can be sexy, is smoking a cigarette. So I implore all French people to just smoke and get cancer and die. Because the good thing about that is, if you all die really young, it doesn't matter how much the French government fuck you out of pensions. Because you won't get to pension age, so it won't matter. See? Modern problems, modern solutions. Don't tell me I'm not a solutions person. Fuck yes. Anyway, back to how the French multinational Veolia are fucking us.
3 years ago for poor performance. Croydon has the most missed bin collections and the most reported fly tipping of any London borough, yet Veolia just got a £40 million payday and a renewed contract after the council spent years and hundreds of thousands of pounds unsuccessfully trying to find someone else for the job. 3 other London...
Who runs Croydon Council, just out of interest? The Civic Mayor is... Oh, they're Tories. Okay, brilliant. So, the Tories have 34, Labour have 34, the Greens have 2, and the Liberal Democrats have 1. So it's a minority Conservative with a Conservative Civic Mayor and Conservative Executive Mayor and Chief Councillor. Sorry, Chief Executive. Yeah. Okay.
London boroughs, Merton, Sutton and Kingston, also fired and rehired Veolia over this time. So, how did this happen? Why did a foreign company that allegedly illegally poisoned wetlands in Colombia flatly...
Jesus Christ! Oh, neoliberalism is a hellscape. It's a fucking hellscape.
refused to negotiate with union workers in Sheffield and allegedly bribed politicians in Romania.
Fucking hell. Okay, so they hired a company that we already know are shit at collecting bins to collect bins, and it turns out they're also fantastically evil. Brilliant. Fucking excellent. Why is he wearing a warehouseman's coat? Why not? He looks like a young, skinny John Motson. Let's go.
Get given a multi-million-pound contract to manage waste for millions of South London residents. It's a story that involves hundreds of thousands of missed bin collections, millions of pounds and thousands of working hours spent on a pointless procurement process, and one Emperor Napoleon. This is the stinking story of the sketchy company behind South London's bin collections.
You, yeah, you. Are you drinking coffee like this? This is anxiety in a cup. made by the same sort of faceless corporation that would abandon its giant headquarter offices in your hometown and leave them derelict and unused for 30 years. But this is Croydon-powered caffeine excellence from 80 Stone.
80 Stone are wholesale coffee specialists based right here in the Cronks. They make awesome coffee.
The Cronks! So, I just got that. The channel's called Cronks Watch. And I just... Okay. For those who don't know, that's a portmanteau of Croydon, his local area, and the Bronx. The notorious area of New York City. The Cronks! That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and I fucking love it. It's genius. Also, as it's from the Cronks, I don't even mind that he's doing an advert. I'll let him play.
That personally I genuinely really enjoyed for a delicious and ethically made caffeine hit every time.
They've even given us a cheeky discount code, CRONKS20, for 20% off your first order. Link in the description. So, dear viewer, visit 80 Stone online or in person today and get some great locally roasted...
He looks like one of the guys from Supergrass. No, was it Supergrass? Yeah, we are young, we run free, me, 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 we are free, Yeah, look, he looks like him. Hang on. We don't need the noise, because that's going to be terms of service. Just give me a close-up of the faces. It's him, look. He looks exactly like him. I wonder if he's related.
Coffee down your mug. Cheers!
And now, on with the show.
Slow down! There's an invisible garbage truck in the road! Yeah, right.
Croydon, according to this Metro report, has the filthiest streets in London. It has the most reports of fly tipping and the most reports of missed bin collections of any London borough. The Metro...
Yeah, there's a touch of young Doherty about him as well, yeah.
reporter that
Oh no, not modern Doherty. Have you seen him? He looks like he's fucking swallowed a banger. Jesus.
obtained the stats via a Freedom of Information request didn't look at the per capita numbers, but we did, and Croydon still ranks highly on the pile. I personally have had countless trouble with my bins and I've also heard loads of stories from friends and relatives of them having trouble reporting their collection issues as well. And that's if you can even report missing bin collections in the first place. One of our Patreons who got in touch with us said that they had to go back between Croydon Council, Veolia, and somewhat confusingly, rival waste contractor Biffa for over 6 weeks before they got a replacement bin on a property that they owned. In recent weeks, Croydon East MP Natasha Irons said that she has been inundated.
Doherty looks like he developed an allergy to the heroin. Like, yeah, it's like a seafood allergy, but for smack. Someone get the epinephrine.
with concerns from residents over their bin collections.
Residents report repeated missed collections despite multiple online and phone reports to the council. These delays have led to the build-up of waste, incidences of maggots and rats, and significant...
You ain't got shit. Those are just regular maggots and rats. We've got cat-sized rats, and probably at this point cat-sized maggots. Or I suppose rat-sized maggots. It goes up. It goes from the maggot to the rat to the cat, and then, I don't know, the horse or something. I don't fucking know. Horse-sized cats. I don't know how that would happen because of a bin strike, but it's happening, okay?
Significant health concerns, particularly concerning uncollected food waste. A substantial amount of public money goes to this company, and residents deserve confidence in basic local services.
Have I ever been to the city of Chester? I think I did once. Or maybe when I was younger. I think we did pass through it. Rather than being to it as such, but yeah. Why do you ask? Why specifically ask about the city of Chester?
Locals said that their bins had not been collected for 7 weeks after their route slipped through the cracks. Things might not be as bad as in Birmingham just yet,
but it's getting that way. And
Oh God, we are just a national, like, at least we're not as bad as Birmingham. We are is it Mississippi? The place in the south of the United States where it's like, at least we're not Mississippi. Like every time something shit happens in the local area, it's like, oh, at least we're not Mississippi, right? We are that, but we are the British Mississippi, or whichever fucking state it is. I don't know. Like, oh yeah, Croydon shit, but like at least we're not Brum. Fucking hell. We've hicked ourselves. We've absolutely fucking done ourselves up. Ohio. No, not the Ohio meme. No. Look, in the South, right? When southern states have like a local issue or whatever, like a kind of local embarrassment, they'll say like, oh, it's bad, but at least we're not. And I think it's Mississippi. You know what I mean? But I can't remember which state it is. Mississippi. At least we're not at least we're not Birmingham. Oh. Yeah, Mississippi looking down on us like, Jesus Christ, at least we haven't got fucking cat-sized rats. Like, we've got literally nothing else going for us other than the normalcy in the size of our rodent population. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, how humiliating. Honestly, it's so fucking bad. Oh. We are fucking Mississippi. Midlands, Mississippi. How embarrassing, man. Genuinely. I actually, like, I rarely get that bothered about, like, civic pride or anything, because I know that Birmingham isn't, like, a fucking glorious, like, fucking place. It's not Las Vegas, it's not New York or something. It's not like some big fancy flashy fucking place. Although, to be fair, we do have New York beaten in the size of rats, apparently. Although few of ours have yet raised 4 turtles to become crime fighting ninjas. But you know, we wait and see. All you can do is nurture the system and then let the talent come through, isn't it? You know. But I don't really care about like civic pride and all that shit, because I realise that Birmingham isn't the most salubrious place on earth. It's not a tourist destination, and that's fine. We're comfortable in that thing, right? We're comfortable in that space, that setting. We know what we are and who we are, and we're fine with that. But like, to see us dragged through the shit by a fucking Labour government that promised us a decade of renewal. This is the decade of renewal, is it? Rat-sized cats. The people of Croydon laughing at us. No offence to the people of Croydon. I don't wish you any harm, or I've got nothing against you. But like, clearly, you're not the most salubrious place yourselves. And yet you are able to look down on us like, it's bad, but at least we're not Birmingham. Fucking hell. God, that's fucking painful. You've got the NEC. Well, I mean, technically, yeah, but even that's not really in Birmingham. It's over by the fucking airport, which, again, isn't really in Birmingham. We've got the NIA, which is in Brom. The ICC and Symphony Hall. We've got loads of cool shit. But we've also got fucking cat-sized rats, for God's sake. Who's shrinking the great cats of London? Dick Whittington. In a historic turn of events. Oh, what the fuck? 255, you don't kick a man in the balls when he's down. Kev hasn't just been to Chester, he has family there. And you've circled the orangutan as a hairy member of my fucking family. I mean, technically, in a mammalian sense, they are a member of family. In a very distant, like, way. But we're not part of the same species. If you meant we're all part of Mammalia, then that is true. But that is also true, I believe, of the other creatures outside of the elephant, I think, in this picture. The rest of them are also mammals. So, you know, Chester Zoo is overrated. I've never been. I don't know.
It's not even a strike on.
Croydon's High Street had a bin that was so dirty, even this local TikTok cleaning crew
Today we're in Croydon cleaning their bins.
who couldn't amass enough power and positivity to get it looking completely new. I mean, shout out James and John though, and excuse my snark, but cette histoire c'est un grand bordel qui fait ma nerve.
This story is a big mess that gets on my nerves.
Interestingly,
What?
the neighbouring boroughs of Merton and Bromley also rank highly on the list of the messiest boroughs in the capital.
Oh, are elephants mammals? Oh, I didn't know that. Where are the elephant boobies? Oh, am I actually going to fucking Google elephant tits? Okay, it's happening. Female elephants have breasts. Okay. Tell me all about it. Female elephants have breasts. Unlike most other mammals, with the exception of primates, a female elephant's mammary glands are located on their rib cage and are quite human-like. They are! Oh my god, I've never seen elephant titties before. And yet I think this is allowed. It's not human titties. Look at that. They are kind of human-like. Only trunks. There you go. I didn't know that they were mammals because I'd never seen elephant tits before, but there they are. You didn't know elephants were mammals? No. They don't look like mammals. Look at them. They're fucking mental. Anyway, you got fucking elephant tits there. So it's to get the furries in. That's what I'm doing there. Just get the old trunkies in.
So, what links these boroughs? Well, they're all part of the South London Waste Partnership. These three boroughs, plus Sutton, all hired, fired, and then rehired Veolia in recent years. The second time in recent months, Veolia made several £million more per annum for their troubles. In total, they're set to make £40 million in Croydon and £40 million in Sutton over the length of the 9-year-long contract.
Those are fake elephant tits, are they? No, it's real. Hang on a minute. Okay, we're doing. Okay. Right, elephants. We're going to read the entire Wikipedia on elephants, okay? Elephants are the largest land animals, living 3 species and are recognised, They are the only surviving members of the family Elephantidae and the order blah-de-blah. Don't give a fuck about any of that shite. They are mammalia, okay. Taxonomy, evolution, living species, ears and eyes, trunk, teeth, tusks, skin, legs, internal systems, sex characteristics. Here we go. Oh, that's a meaty elephant cock. I don't think I could show that. The male elephant's testes, like other Afrotheria, are internally located near the kidneys. The penis can be as long as 100 centimetres, same, with a 16 centimetre 6 inch width wide base, ditto. It curves to an S. Oh my god, I really am an elephant. When fully erect and has an orifice shaped like a Y. The female's clitoris may be 40 centimetres, 16 inches. The vulva is found lower, blah 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 blah. The female's mammary glands occupy the space between the front legs, which puts the suckling calf within reach of the female's trunk. Elephants have a unique organ, the temporal gland, located on either side of the head. This organ is associated with sexual behaviour. The males secrete a fluid from it when in musth. What the fuck is that? Musth is a period of condition in bull elephants characterised by aggressive behaviour and accompanied by a large rise in reproductive hormones. Females have been observed with these secretions. Okay. So I think that picture was correct then. I think that picture was real. Google jumbo tits. Yeah, that's going to work. Anyway. Don't forget, if you're enjoying the zoology bants, you can hit the follow button and subscribe and become a member and do super chats and bits messages. These are all things you can do to help me learn about elephant tits and cocks and pussies and balls.
Contract. This is, of course, the same company that has been known to lowball offers for council contracts and then crank up the prices at a later date, as they've already done to Croydon twice.
The
More on
cronks.
that later. What makes things worse is the decision by all 4 SLWP boroughs to rehire Veolia was made after an expensive 2-year consultation process in which hundreds of thousands of pounds were spent, only to land back on the contractor that they were with before. Interestingly, the full contract.
And let me guess, the people doing the investigation were friends of the Tories that run the council? It's what I would think. Certainly how it tended to operate elsewhere.
Terms between the 4 South London councils and Veolia are available on the South London Waste Partnership's website. It says this is part of their commitment to openness, accountability and transparency, which is laudable and actually kind of useful. So let's go check that out. So you can read all of the last contracts up to 2018, but the most recent 4 contracts are not available.
Well, transparency is time dated, clearly, and correctly. My good sir. Thank you, Carl Brown.
Like a baby otter.
Thank you, Carl Brown, for gifting a sub. Much love to you, friend. Much feckin' love.
I wonder why. So, how did 4 South London councils end up paying more for a poorer service that they tried to bin off? Well,
Corruption!
Firstly, let's look at how we got here. Waste management in the UK has never been a nationalised business, as far as I can tell. It seems it has always been a private enterprise going back as far as the 18th century, when it became something important that needed doing. Before the advent of the Industrial Revolution and consumerism, people didn't really create much waste beyond their own effluent. Think about what's in your bins right now. Horrific, I know. And the majority of it probably just wouldn't have existed even 100 years ago. Prior to the advent of cheap mass-produced stuff, cities did accumulate some rubbish over the years, leading to...
And now we have just ridiculous amounts of packaging. Let alone the amount of food that gets wasted, and, it's just fucking rubbish. I mean, literally. Thank you, Carl Brown, for gifting another membership. Much love to you, friend. Honestly, I might have to wank you off.
To the establishment of cleaning crews to remove large waste from in front of people's houses. But other than that, they were mostly left to their own devices with waste, as much of it was biodegradable. In 1500s London, so many people brought pigs into the city to eat the rubbish outside of their houses and thus avoid paying fines, that the city had to hire swine killers to deal with them. It wasn't until...
Also, horses, right? In Victorian London, there were so many horses, it produced like millions and millions of tons of shit every year, right? And also, because horses are, living creatures and stuff, and not always useful, there was an unbelievable proliferation of horse slaughter yards, which are exactly what you think that is. That was a big business in London, well into the 20th century. Yeah, the past... when they talk about the past being a foreign country? Yeah. What is the quote about the baby otter from? Oh, it's from a very silly video about Che Guevara, of all people.
Until the mid-1800s that
Oh, not just free glue. Oh, no, not just free glue at all. You can get horse leather, for instance, from the thing. You can use horse bones ground up in old concrete. Gross as fuck, but aggregate is aggregate, I guess. You can use the meat for cat and dog meat. Yeah, there's all sorts of shit. It's fucking gross as fuck, but it was a big business, you know? Employed a lot of people.
Modern waste bins and regular collections were introduced into the UK with the Public Health Act 1848 and its expansion in 1875. However, the management of said waste has apparently always been done privately. By the time there was a need for it, there were companies who could profit off it. So alas, no blaming Margaret Thatcher for this one.
No, I'm still blaming Thatcher for this one. Fuck her. She's a cunt.
Meanwhile, the roots of Veolia go back to Napoleon Bonaparte. No, not that one. The third one. But apparently he was also vertically challenged, so maybe that's why they're always coming up short. The company was first founded in 1853 as Compagnie Générale d'Eau, or General Water Company. After a century of doing just what it was made to do, supply water to major French cities, the advent of capitalism led to a diversification of the company's operations. It bought up waste management companies, which would eventually become Veolia, and also transport and media businesses. In 1998, the company spun off its various side hustles and became Vivendi. To those of you who are as old as me, that name might mean something to you. Yeah, that's right, the company that runs Croydon's Bins also published video games 50 Cent Bulletproof, Tribes 2 and Futurama, all of which I have played extensively, by the way.
Professional game there, dude.
Vivendi's waste management and water division spun off from the main company in 2001 and then eventually became Veolia Environment, which is the company that operates in Croydon today. The fact that the company that runs Croydon's Bins also made Barbie Horse Adventures Wild Ride Rescue would just be a cool bit of interesting trivia if it wasn't also frustrating and symptomatic of international corporate homogeneity.
Look out, nature.
True. Very true.
Here we come.
Veolia's CEO
Honestly, capitalism's going to get to the point where the entire world is just a company town. And it's just one guy, Jeff Bezos' head in a jar or something, that just owns all of the things.
Estelle Brachlianoff earns some 3.5 million euros or 2.9 million pounds a year, and one of the company's fastest growing markets is Kelsupre's UK Waste Management. Yet, in incidents all over the world, Veolia is accused of unethical business practices, poor standards of work, and potentially even illegal behaviours. It was first...
No! Multinational conglomerations acting illegally. That's cray-cray. 255, why would I give a fuck about extinct elephant relatives? I can't even see a single elephant tit on this picture. There's not even a bit of side boob going on. Nothing. Rubbish.
First contracted in Croydon in 2003 to manage street cleaning and recycling. Then, according to Inside Croydon, on recommendation from Croydon Council, Veolia was hired by all 4 South London Waste Partnership boroughs for full waste management responsibilities in 2017.
Ooh, that's not great.
The £38 million a year contract was given to Veolia after they were by far the lowest bidder. Their competitors were Keir, Serco, Amy and Biffa, who all have their own problems in fairness, including, in the case of Biffa, allegations of modern slavery. However...
Oh, capitalism's so evil. They're all bastards. Fucking hell.
Veolia lowballed the bid and secured the bag. That was despite being fined £50,000 by the council for missed bin collections during the tender process. It's not illegal, is it?
I'm not saying it's illegal.
Well, then we're allowed to be here, no?
Why are you filming?
Well, because we're doing a story. I told you we're doing a story about Veolia and the South London Waste contract. 1 year after getting the contract, residents were already complaining about missed bin collections and other areas of poor service. In one incident in 2018, Veolia was fined £250,000 by the Health and Safety Executive after a supported employee with learning disabilities was run over and seriously injured at a depot.
Oh, for fuck's sake. They ran over a disabled employee. I don't even know. Like, again, it's like, how do you make them sound more evil than they are? Like, if you wanted to satirise this, if you wanted to make them sound worse, how would you do it? Oh, sweet merciful Jesus. God almighty.
Depot in Croydon. In 2021, it had to renegotiate its contract with Croydon Council to get another £20 million to ensure the continued operation of the council-owned but Veolia-run recycling centres.
So, give us 20 million more pounds of public money or you're fucked. It's a mafia ring. It's all a fucking mafia ring.
It also pushed for the council to eliminate 1,000 public waste bins in order to cut costs on its contract, to which the council complied. Cataloguing Veolia's failures in Croydon over the past 8 years would make this video too long and isn't really that revealing once you get the picture. But what is interesting is what Veolia is getting up to in other countries around the world.
Oh God, I can't even imagine. At least we have a semblance of like human rights or health and safety legislation. God almighty, they're probably mincing Bangladeshis just straight into the fucking machine. Thank you, Boy Meets Minnie, for 27 months. Yet another month of anti-Anglo action, indeed. In fucking deed. If we get another something or other, another bits message or subscription or something, we'd go onto a hype train, and then I would finger Veolia's PR strategy because it is dead.
Its global operations are a right stinky affair.
In Birmingham, where a major bin strike has led to scenes like this, making international headlines, Veolia is also contracted to manage various parts of the city's waste management.
Although the high-profile strike isn't directly Veolia's fault, they definitely had a hand in proceedings. Birmingham, which, like Croydon, has some of the worst finances of any UK local authority, also followed Croydon in expensively exploring other waste contractors and then landing back on Veolia again. Veolia had a contract to manage various parts of Birmingham's waste management since 1993, but not waste collections. In 2017, their contract with Birmingham Council was extended by 2 years on a temporary basis, while the council spent thousands looking for a new contractor. But like a scavenging carrion picking at last night's leftovers on a street near you, Veolia, once again, pulled it out of the stinking bag. Additionally, Veolia has been known to advocate for councils making cuts to their services in order to decrease costs on their contracts.
So, Veolia may not have been directly involved in the bin strike in Birmingham, but they certainly had a hand in it.
However,
Yep. They bid to do a certain job and then force the council, or let's say coerce the council, into reducing the amount of work they would have to do. Whilst not seeking to be paid less, of course, we'd still have to pay them the same amount of money to do less work. Cunts. Is this better? Oh, Jesus Christ, that is pornographic. This is an unrealistic body image for this ancient dead elephant. Is that 9 months? I can't do math. Oh yeah, you're 9 months. Okay. Post-birth baby Bible abortion then. Enjoy, Boy Meets Minnie. Enjoy. Fuck yes. Told you it was photoshopped.
in Sheffield, Veolia has definitely been involved in a strike, leading to scenes like this. Since late 2024, more than 100 union workers in Sheffield have been indefinitely on strike and on the pickets because Veolia refuses to recognise their union, Unite. However, GMB currently has very few members employed by Veolia in Sheffield. Around 85% of the company's workers are represented by Unite, but Veolia refuses to recognise them. This has led to an ongoing...
Non-binary stated, did you know that Stena, the ferry company, is family owned and they look after their workers by providing housing from cradle to grave for the entire family, and they operate their own recycling business so that they can profit from the recycling that needs to be done for not only their employees but the entire community in which they live. Isn't that cool? They also have an industry arm which provides electricity at a discounted rate. They are not all bastards. Okay, if that's true, non-binary, that's quite cool. But they're still capitalists. They get the wall last.
Ongoing dispute where Unite workers feel that they are not represented in the case of any future contract disputes. Unite officials said that Veolia was one point at the table, ready to make a deal, and then did a 180 and walked out without explanation. In March, one striking worker, John Mayfield, summed it up quite nicely when he said,
Veolia, we'll meet you wherever you want, on our picket line, in the back of a bin wagon, at your place or our place.
as of this video, there is no end to the trouble in sight, with Veolia refusing to return to the negotiating tables and union workers not backing down. At one recent picket protest, members of the French union CGT visited Sheffield to join striking workers in solidarity. CGT General Secretary Mathieu Duguay said, unsurprisingly, that French unions also have problems with Veolia. Can we just appreciate that the man is called Do-Good and he chose to work in a union? Respect. Anyway, that's just a couple of stories from the UK, but globally, Veolia has been behaving just as badly.
Apprends ton passeport! On y va!
Oh no.
In Colombia, in the town of Barrancabermeja, Veolia has been accused of dumping toxic materials into protected wetlands. Fishermen who have been working for generations have reported fish populations falling off the cliff to the point they're no longer sending out any boats. Veolia has been allegedly caught dumping toxic materials into the San Silvestre wetlands after building a landfill around 7 miles from the protected site and right by rivers that feed into it.
I'm sure that's absolutely fine and just a total coincidence. I'm sure that's absolutely totally normal and not malfeasance on a level that should have people executed for their crimes. No, definitely not.
Local campaigners have published several videos online in recent years showing alleged malpractice from the landfill operation. Aside from any untreated waste dumping, local residents are also having a time of it too. Many locals report waste odours carrying over into villages in the protected areas, and local doctors have reported increased instances of babies and young children with rare deformities.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just... Call me Big Daddy Stalin if you wish, but like, people who do this, people who for their own financial gain lead to, you know, increased cancer rates and birth defects in local populations and poisoning water supplies and blah blah blah. These people need to be done away with. They just do. They're just fucking evil scum. They need to be prosecuted and dealt with accordingly.
And diseases. In the interest of fairness,
I'm generally not in favour of the death penalty, but for like corporate malfeasance, yeah, I'm getting to that stage now where I just don't think playing nicely with them is going to work.
Veolia denies breaking any of the notoriously strict and watertight Colombian environmental regulations.
We operate the site in full compliance with environmental regulations and strongly deny the allegations made by Global Witness. These accusations are not true, and there is no credible evidence to support them. We reject allegations that Veolia's operations at San Silvestre cause contamination of Barrancabermeja's water sources, particularly the San Silvestre swamp, with mercury, iron or cyanide.
Meanwhile, closer to home in Romania, in 2015, Veolia's Romanian subsidiary Apanova was caught up in a bribery scandal for which several executives were charged by Romanian anti-corruption investigators. Police made allegations that...
How shit have you got to be caught by the Romanian anti-corruption people? Wowzer.
Senior management at Apanova bribed city officials in Bucharest in order to obtain the water contracts. Between 2000 and 2014, the period in which Veolia subsidiaries were allegedly paying off city officials, water prices in Bucharest went up by 1,400%. The Romanian Anti-Corruption Office, the Direcția Națională Anticorupție, said that Apanova employed extensive security apparatus to monitor their own employees to ensure that they didn't snitch on their alleged illegal activities. In 2015, Apanova directors Laurent Lelong and Bruno Roche were charged with various crimes by Romanian authorities, including allegedly paying 10 million euros in bribes to officials, and also tax evasion.
Oh, gulag.
But there, the trail went dead.
Vite! Ils sont après nous! Rentrez immédiatement à Paris!
This 2019 filing from the US Securities and Exchange Commission said that the Romanian investigation was still ongoing. But apart from that, I couldn't find anything else. I even emailed some Romanian newspapers for some updates, but no dice. So, we can add alleged bribery of public officials in a European nation to Veolia's list of alleged sketchy behaviours. Given all this, which is publicly available information by the way, how did Veolia recently bag several new multi-million pound contracts with all 4 South London Waste Partnership boroughs?
I'm sure it's definitely not corrupt, and it's definitely 100% above board. Honest. That is definitely what I think to be true. And you can't convict me in a court for that.
In a famous phrase,
there is no alternative.
there is no alternative.
There is no alternative.
Well, the short answer is no one else wanted to bid. Because of its huge profits, existing infrastructure and bottom of the bin pricing tactics, no other waste management company in the UK wanted to bid against Veolia in the contract for Croydon. Despite spending hundreds of thousands of pounds on an expensive 2-year procurement process, in early 2025, Veolia was officially reappointed to manage Croydon's bins on a £40 million contract. Veolia continues to miss more bin collections in Croydon than in any other London borough. All the while, they're cutting our service and our council taxes are going up. But, like 50 Cent in the game that its parent corporation once published, it seems that Veolia's contracts with the South London Waste Partnership are bulletproof.
You're locked in, pal. I think you're forgetting something. You're locked in too.
So, the next time the council wheels out its bin full of excuses when our streets get dirtier and your bin collections are missed, remember that the system isn't broken, it's working exactly the way one big corporation intends. To wrap it up, I'm sure I'm not alone on how I feel about this situation. And given that it's the Croydon mayoral elections later this year, I think it's about time that we let our elected officials know exactly how we feel about this situation. And as always, thanks to our patrons listed here, and keep watching the Cronks.
The Cronks. I like this. He's a good lad. What's going on with Thames Water? We need to talk about Croydon Council. Croydon. There's a lot of Croydon-based material, which is understandable, I suppose. Okay, one to watch. One to watch there. I'll give everyone a cheeky little link to the channel, and you can check out Cronks Watch. Yeah, that was pretty decent actually. Yeah. What is this? Britain to launch in-depth probe into 14.6 billion Veolia-Suez merger. Britain's antitrust watchdog launched on Monday an in-depth probe into... When's this from, by the way? 2021. Oh, okay. The Competition and Markets Authority. Oh, a toothless regulator. Yes. Okay. We've got another Britbongy thing because I put into the Discord, which by the way everyone should go and follow the Discord or join the Discord or whatever the fucking thing is. Go and become a part of the Discord conversation. Show me things that you want me to watch, and then I was like, and someone sent this, so we're going to take a look. This is another smaller person article. Frog ape. How to find £20 billion. Let's take a look.
Recently, Chancellor Rachel Reeves announced she was making huge cuts to public spending to fill a £20 billion black hole in government
22 billion, I think you'll find.
Finances. Much of these cuts have come down to great public outcry on the disabled and the elderly, and many more government departments have been told to make major cuts in order to balance the budget. On the flip side, many right-wing people have tried setting up their own British Doge as a way to highlight government waste, like Elon Musk does, mostly to complain about how much local...
By the way, did you see Elon Musk hires balls yesterday? Absolutely off his fucking tits, the lad. Not only denim's being hot as fuck, amazing there. Just that was random. That wasn't, you know, that's just top of the fucking thing. Where is I? Here we go. Look at this. Not only is that black eye definitely not from his child, but he is high as fuck.
Well, it's a very sad case. It's a case we win. We can't lose our case because we have the right to make grants. We're not going to make any grants like that. But I don't think Harvard's been acting very nicely. I think Columbia wants to get to the bottom of the problem. They've acted.
What the fuck? Oh my god. Like he is high as balls, man. What the fuck? He is deep in the K-hole right there. And he's so fucking desperate. He's so pathetically desperate for the attention that he'll go out there bruised, a fucking ketted off his fucking tits. Like, what the fuck? We are seeing a man disintegrate, and it's very funny.
Local councils are spending on diversity initiatives. These things cost like 50k, which is basically chump change in terms of government budget. I think this is lazy culture war shit than a concern for public finances. I think I could do a better job than both Rachel Reeves and these Elon cock polishers. If you gave me like a 1,000-page binder with a line item breakdown of everything the government spends money on, I could easily find £20 billion worth of savings in ways that the average citizen of the UK would not even notice or care about if it went missing. 20,000 useless things costing at least £1 million. That's like shooting fish in a barrel in Britain, and today I'm gonna show you.
Okay, let's hear him out. Those are some big... He's writing a big check there. Let's see if he can cash the motherfucker.
The point of a charity is that it does things the government is failing to do, like help the homeless. The anti-homelessness charity Shelter got £3.1 million last year in government grants. They do things like campaign for more social housing and more rights for tenants. What's the point in the government paying a charity to lobby the government? How many homeless shelters could we build with £3.1 million per year instead? At least one. By giving £1.52 million to the Salvation Army, you're admitting that you're doing a bad job at helping the poor, and it's only 0.5% of the Salvo Army income. They'll be fine without it. A lot of religious organisations get grants too.
Okay, mate. I'm just going to put this away. Just put this up for you, right? You said not only could you make these savings, but in ways that the British public would barely notice. I think people would notice if you stripped away funding from fucking homeless charities and the Salvation Army and religious institutions. I think those institutions might pipe up. And people might get very, very, very fucking angry at you. What the fuck are you talking about? People would barely notice. Fuck off.
The North England Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. 1.33 million in grants to a random evangelist group with 13,000 members. If they can afford their own media studio that underscores our commitment to digital evangelism, they don't need my tax money. Another one, £12.8 million given to a Catholic-only school in Liverpool run by the Catholic Church. As if the Vatican are short on change, why didn't...
Right, but if you get rid of the 12 grand, it's not like the Vatican are going to top that up and be like, oh, well, we'll give them the 12 grand. No, what you will then have is a community of people really fucking angry that you took 12 grand off their school. Because, like, presumably hundreds, if not thousands, I don't know how many kids go to that school, but lots, I imagine. Times that by the number of parents and local community activists who are going to be very, very, very fucking annoyed with you for that. Especially when, like, why don't we just get rid of the fucking nuclear weapons? And then not only do you save 20 billion, you save many times that amount. Like, as if it's we're giving 12 grand to a Catholic school is burying the UK in debt. This is silliness.
They ask the Pope for money, and many of these charities are just fronts for lobbyists. The Soil Association, building a public awareness of the benefits of organic food and farming, and then you look at their website and we're calling for urgent action for the UK government.
Hang on, did you say 12.8 million to the school? To one school? What?
Church, as if the Vatican...
Hang on. No, he did. Look, 12.8 thousand. Not million. Jesus Christ. What kind of fucking school gets 12 million quid a year from the government? Not a chance.
Are just fronts for lobbyists. The Soil Association, building a public awareness of the benefits of organic food and farming, and then you look at their website and we're calling for urgent action for the UK government to help increase demand for fruit and veg and increase fruit and veg production. That's not a charity, they're lobbyists for the farming industry. 1.38 million from the government last year. Check this out, 1.52 million to a private schools charity. A private school is a business. If it can't afford to exist on the outrageous fees of its customers, it shouldn't be propped up by the taxpayer.
I'll agree there.
Worst of all is the animal charities. There's nothing wrong with them, like...
But again, this the kind of main character syndrome of this person saying, I can make these savings without anyone noticing. My brother in Christ, the government just put VAT on private school tuition, right? Or private school admission fees or whatever. And because private school wankers, because of private school wankers running everything and running the media, that became a really big story, even though it affected very few people and led to almost nobody having to drop out of private school. It became like this big fucking deal. It was a thorn in the side for the Labour Party during the election and since. To the point where I'm actually surprised they even fucking did it in the end. Jesus Christ. But if you decided to get rid of all funding for private schools, I can assure you the public would be made very, very, very aware that that was taking place. Very aware. Like, it would be the front page story in everywhere. Like, they'd forget to pretend to be annoyed about the Chagos deal, and it would just be, they're trying to destroy private schools, they're trying to destroy your kids' futures. Ah! It's very easy to do public policy. It's very easy to do governmental policy in the abstract. Saying, oh, well, we can just cut 12 grand from a Catholic school and we can just save 1 million here and 1 million there. Forgetting, of course, that people who are recipients of that money aren't just going to accept that lying down. People would definitely notice that. Now, maybe that's a problem inherent in any system. But if that is the case, then why did you make the exorbitant claim, the extravagant, silly fucking claim, that you could do this without anyone noticing? Or barely noticing, I think was the exact phrase you used. Fucking stupidness. God almighty.
Morally, they're not corrupt, but a donkey sanctuary in Devon has more donations than all the domestic abuse charities in Britain combined. The government does not need to be funding these. The Royal Society for the Protection of Birds made 169 million in donations in 2024. 14.8 million, or about 8%, came from government grants.
Right, okay. But what is the government getting for that? Because, for instance, they're not just going to give them that money for no reason. It's often because the government want these organisations to act in certain ways. The government feel, rightly or wrongly, and you can look into the individual cases and find out if you want to, that funding the RSPB to do wildlife preservation is cheaper than the government itself doing that. So if it pays 14 million quid a year to the RSPB to look after fucking, I don't know, wildfowl habitats, but it would cost 20 million for the government to do it, because you'd have to set up a new fucking thing and employ new people and blah blah blah. Like, that's an efficiency saving, surely. Assuming that you do want, like, wildlife habitats to be protected. Presuming you think that that's a good thing to do in general. Anytime there's a royal society for anything, it's apologia for royals' crimes. That's true, Boy Meets Money, but I don't know if this is necessarily the case in sort of other Commonwealth countries. But, like, the Royal Society for X, Y, and Z, so like the Royal Society for Sciences, the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, you just get used to it. Like, it's mad, right? It shouldn't exist, because the royal family are fucking parasitic evil scum, and always have been. That's all they are. They're a fucking millstone around this country's neck. But you just get used to it, to the point where no one even thinks about it. It's not even like an issue, really. It's just the RSPB. No one even gives a fuck about the RS part of it. It's like, oh, that's the birds one. That's the one for the birds. That's ornithological in nature, rather than it being like, you know, like, no one thinks of it actively as like, oh, that's about the royal family being, you know, good or whatever. It's sort of PR neutral at this point, is what I'm trying to suggest.
As far as I know, the only thing the RSPB do is build information signs at beaches and launch legal actions blocking construction projects.
Is that all they do? Jesus Christ. RSPB research projects. £2 million project for restoring habitats and boosting wildlife across Scotland. A 4-year life nature project led by the RSPB and the National Trust to improve the condition of target coastal sites while also building their long-term resilience and informing future work elsewhere. Supported by the National Lottery Heritage Fund, Corncrake Calling is a 4-year project to save these small, brown, secretive birds in Scotland, etc., etc., etc. Like, your fucking petty bullshit. Oh, they just put up signs. They just put up signs and they do illegal about. No. They do loads of fucking research and loads of conservation. The fuck are you talking about? You put this video out, do some fucking basic research. Also, that's a fucking thing from 2017. This video is only a month old, right? And the best you could do was pluck something from fucking 8 years ago. Where they were trying, ironically, to fucking protect seabirds. Oh. This is the problem with Britain. It's filled with these fucking people. These annoying bastards. These know-it-all fucking pricks. It just feels. It's all just feels. Well, I don't think the RSPB does anything, so fine. I've decided. They definitely don't then. Fuck them. We should take all their money off them. God almighty.
They don't need this money. For this video I set the cut-off point as anything over £1 million, but I found many smaller charities claiming tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of taxpayer pounds. Society would not change radically if we cut off funding for these so-called charities.
Jesus Christ, you are honestly one of the most profoundly ignorant people. Like, I've met more hateful people on the internet. We looked at one of them yesterday, that weird Nazi cunt, the Zoomer historian, and all All of these wankers. That fucking weird pervert, the Scottish guy who lives in Malaysia or wherever, the despunkified guy, right? I've met more hateful people, more disgusting people online, and indeed in real life. But I don't think I've met a more ignorant person than you. And I mean that in the genuine sense. Your understanding of the reality of the country you live in, of the world you live in, is so shit. It's so abysmally shit. People wouldn't notice if you take away the vital lifeline funding for charities. Are you fucking mental? Have you been to Britain? Do you know anything about the place? Have you stepped foot amongst its hallowed fields? Do you ever fucking... do you exist in reality? Are you from this dimension? Because it doesn't seem so.
And the money saved would probably add up to something significant. Charities are things like soup kitchens. The government should not be paying money to religious groups, private...
I mean, without even getting into the idea that it's okay that there are fucking food kitchens at all. Why aren't you questioning why the government can't fucking sustain a country that doesn't need food banks? Right? Without even getting into that. The idea that there are like deserving poor and undeserving poor. This is some real like Victorian bullshit right now. I mean, for reals is. Oh, well, these are proper charities, not like the ones that I don't like. Oh, just fucking stop. Just fucking stop.
Schools or animal shelters.
It's not, well, for a start off, the RSPB is not an animal shelter. I'm sure it does have animal facilities like that for like sick birds or whatever, I don't fucking know. But largely, it isn't an animal shelter. But also, why isn't an animal shelter a charity? Why the fuck wouldn't a charity, an animal shelter, be classified as a charity under your description of anything? What? Oh, honestly, you're a fucking idiot, mate. You're just a profoundly stupid person. Not stupid, ignorant. Ignorant is the word.
Quangos, quasi-non-governmental organisations. There are hundreds of these groups run by appointed bureaucrats making decisions that government ministers, our elected leaders, cannot overrule. Most recently, the Centre...
Well, some of them can be overruled. It depends on the exact operating guidelines of each Quango. But whatever, yeah.
Council, which advises judges and magistrates the appropriate punishments for criminals, made a very controversial decision that the Justice Secretary was unable to overrule despite her being against it. Decisions on this should be made by
oink oink pay pigs. Thank you.
Our elected officials, not some random bureaucracy on a budget of $2 million per year. There are also tons of completely useless organisations that do nothing of value. Transport Focus. With a budget of $6.4 million, this group lobbies the government on behalf of rail and bus passengers to ensure they get affordable tickets and a smooth journey. Train ticket prices have done nothing but go up since it was created, so this Quango is useless.
No, I mean, for a start off, I'm not even arguing on behalf of this particular campaign, whatever, Transport Focus. But just saying it's gone up, therefore this organisation is useless, is ridiculous. Correlation does not equal causation, my dear friend. It could be the fact that if without Transport Focus and any allied groupings, the costs would have gone up further. It could be that they've heroically kept those rises down to a minimum. You don't know because you haven't researched it, because you're just doing the annoying bullshit thing of saying, I don't like it, I think it's frivolous, therefore we can just cut it, and no one will notice. Fucking Christ almighty.
Abolish it. The Youth Parliament. No other serious country lets 10-year-olds play pretend politics in their national legislature.
How is it any worse than the other fucking grown adults that sit in that shithole? Like, you're literally talking about the fact that we have a crumbling shithouse of a country because the adults that sit in there can't do it. So you know what? Let the 10-year-olds have a bit of fun. At least the fucking evil wankers of the actual real parliament aren't there. So that's good. Keep them away from the fucking place.
It cost 2.4 million and nobody would miss it if it was gone.
I think the children and the parents of those children, and again, not just the ones in the room, but the ones that participated in the local areas. Because again, the parliament itself sits on the basis that other people have, run as well to be a part of this. So there would be tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people who would notice. Again, you wouldn't notice, and this is ultimately the very core of conservatism, is that it's, and if it doesn't affect them, then it doesn't matter. Like, this guy wouldn't notice it because he's not interested in the youth parliament. Okay, fine. If you're not interested in the youth parliament, that's grand. Go for it. I don't care. But lots of other people would care.
Nothing would change. Commonwealth Scholarship Commission, £25 million. This was set up to offer scholarships to people of outstanding talent from across the Commonwealth. Considering there is no shortage of foreign students, especially from the Commonwealth, this is not necessary.
What the fuck? This is some of the most specious fucking reasoning I've ever heard of. Again, there's plenty of people coming from the Commonwealth. Okay, fine. But in terms of offering grants to people, that would be poor people from the Commonwealth. And there are a lot of Commonwealth countries that are incredibly fucking poor, mainly because we stole all of their wealth. So actually having a scholarship fund to allow talented poor people from the Commonwealth to get educated at our fine universities benefits us and those Commonwealth countries. And it's 25 million quid a year, mate. It's fuck all. It's a drop in the ocean. And let's be honest, Britain's soft power has not been doing great in recent times. Let's be honest, our general PR on the world stage has been shocking. What with Brexit and fucking kowtowing to Donald Trump and just generally being shit. Fucking rat-sized cats, anyone? No, cat-sized rats. Whatever. Like, weirdly apportioned mammalia of all kinds. Big-titted elephants. Oh, it's madness. Yeah, we could do with some good soft power. We could do with some good PR. So if that means giving a Ghanaian kid an opportunity to go and study engineering at Newcastle, let him go. Yeah, pay for it. Go for it. It's fucking 25 million quid, mate. A drop in the bucket. I want giant pet rats. Oh, no. These rats are not pets. These rats are running the place. If anything, the humans are the pets to the rats at this point.
Immigration Advice Authority, 3.6 million. The IAA doesn't advise people on immigration. It regulates the people who give advice on how to immigrate to the UK. Considering people are now getting their immigration advice from TikTok and YouTube, the IAA is never going to keep up and is not worth it anymore.
You are a fucking moron. I'm just, like, I went into this thinking he was going to be alright, because he's like, okay, we're going to make government savings, fine, whatever. This guy's a twat. This guy's just a fucking ignorant twat. Why would you possibly say people are getting their advice on this from TikTok? Yeah, that's fucking disastrous. If you're getting your advice about immigration law from TikTok, you fucked yourself. I think we should have an authority in place that regulates correct, plausible, positive practice in giving advice about immigration. And again, it's really not that much money. Was it 3.6 million? Okay. Unless you're literally suggesting that rando twats on TikTok giving out advice about immigration is like a sensible solution for a modern nation. Because if you are, then you are literally even more fucking ignorant than I thought you were. And my opinion of you is not high. I don't know if you can tell.
Locate ED, an organisation with around 55 employees that advises schools to ensure new buildings are value for money. The director makes £250,000 a year, more than the Prime Minister, might I add, on a budget of £8.1 million per year.
Okay.
Yeah. Office for zero emission vehicles.
Oh, okay, so literally, he brought that organisation up, told us about the person getting paid money, told us its budget, and then moved on. What was the point of that? You haven't even made a specious argument for that one. You've just gone, this organisation exists. What? Fucking hell. And again, mate, you know the problem with the Doge thing? One of the problems is you end up having to sack lots of people. And that, economically, is bad. And fundamentally leads to a lot of people being very, very disgruntled and making angry noises at you. Which again goes against the idea that you're able to do this without people noticing. Because you're not.
7% of cars in the UK are electric. It's 88% in Norway. All Norway did was remove VAT on EVs, give electric cars free parking, and let them use bus lanes.
See, I've got no problem with getting rid of tax on EVs, except Teslas. We should get rid of I don't mind us getting rid of VAT on electronic vehicles, that's fine, but exclude Teslas from that. Because we don't need EVs funded and powered by hate, you know?
The British government went the stupid route of just giving grants to people to buy electric cars and subsidising the installation of charging points at a conservative estimate of £200 million per year. The government geography profession was established in 2018 to support the geographical...
Again, you're doing the Doge thing. You're looking at one side of the ledger. Let's say that £200 million a year cleans up the environment, or cleans up the fucking air quality in our major cities by taking gas-guzzling vehicles off the road and putting electric vehicles on the road. The quality of life, potentially, goes up enormously for the people of those areas, and the cost to the taxpayer through the ill health that would have been suffered because of that low air quality potentially offsets much, if not all, of that 200 million you spent in the first place. So if you just look at the one side of the ledger, you just see £200 million spent. Well, if we don't spend that, that's £200 million saved. No, it isn't. Because what's the benefit that you're not now getting? I.e., fewer charge points means fewer fucking cars on the road, less capacity to add electronic vehicles, and replace, therefore, horrible fucking diesel spewing shithouse vehicles.
Expertise across the public sector. Our vision is to create and grow a high profile... What would we do without those 11 employees? I could not find how much this department budget is, but whatever it is, it's too much.
How do you know? How do you fucking know? There's just no argument. It's just sneering and naysaying. What if alt hist explaining Jewish civilization? Oh my god. Like, you know this is just going to be weird Nazi shit, right?
Assume it's about £1 million. Equality...
Why are you assuming anything? I'm going to assume it's £1 million. Based on what? God, this is shit.
And Human Rights Commission. What's this? I want to get rid of human rights? No, this Quango was created in 2007, famously the year human rights were invented. However, since then there has been a consistent decline in the state of human rights in this country, and most recently the EHRC has been taken over by transphobes who spend taxpayer money campaigning against transgender people. So
okay, you know what? I'll let him cook. He's got a point on this one. I'll let him cook.
Best, this organisation is a useless virtue signal, or at worst is actively undermining human rights. Abolish it, save 17.1 million per year, and take the win from the anti-woke crowd. Independent.
Okay, you know what? You know what, lad? I think we can agree on that one. Okay, he's got a point on that one. Tick.
Anti-slavery commissioner created.
Okay. Okay. This. Interesting.
In 2015, 182 years after slavery was made illegal, most people's only interaction with this organisation is when they see basically companies having to write a yearly report saying, "We do not hire slaves. Thank you for quelling my suspicions. I was worried the Guardian supported the Confederacy." I have doubts that an office of...
To be fair, the Guardian has been taken over by transphobes as well. So the idea of it being pro-slavery is not that out of the ordinary.
3 people writing reports with a budget of $500,000 per year has actually had much of an impact on stopping the modern slavery industry.
Non-binary.
And the problem with having so...
Non-binary, I was joking. I don't actually think we should get rid of that organisation. I just... Look, you brought up a good point about the transphobes, you know? And a weird point, because, like, I would assume with his economics he'd be a transphobe, but he isn't. So basically this guy's just like Lib Dem then, right? Government spending bad, queer people okay. Not necessarily good, just okay.
Many of these well-meaning organisations is that they eventually begin to conflict with each other. In one part of the government we spend millions trying to get people to drink less alcohol. In another part we spend millions trying to save pubs and breweries. They cancel each other out.
No, they don't. What are you talking about? No, they fucking don't. Right, hospitality industry has a lot of jobs in it and creates a lot of money, creates a lot of tax revenue. So it's worth trying to keep those pubs and clubs alive. But doing so on the basis of trying to prevent alcoholism as well. You can run a bar without serving alcohol to alcoholics. You can run a society that allows people to drink, but also tries to put safety nets in place to ensure that people who suffer from the illness of alcoholism are given appropriate medical attention. These are not remotely opposite points of view. It's not absolute abolition of alcohol or everyone gets to be an alcoholic. Not to be a radical centrist about this, but I think we can have the best of both worlds on this. I really do.
Making millions of taxpayer pounds go to waste.
Based on nothing. Fuck me. He had me defending Quangos, organisations which I despise, but this guy's such an idiot. He made me defend several Quangos that I'd never even heard of. God almighty, what a fucking loser. What an absolute fucking minge.
Most foreign aid is for good causes. I certainly have no issue with a tiny fraction of my taxes providing disaster relief and building wells in Africa. In other cases, however, it's pretty clear that we need to stop paying for this stuff. India literally said they don't want any aid from us, and is it really right that a country that is richer than the UK, that is sending rockets into space, can receive £19 million a year from us? This criticism of foreign aid...
Again, it depends exactly what's being done with that money. Because I presume that money isn't just being given to the Indian government. I presume that it's being done for a specific reason. And by the way, I don't necessarily think we need to be giving aid to richer nations. But you've got to bear in mind that this is not just like charity. The British government doesn't give out aid just for charity reasons. It isn't just a feel-good thing. There are deliberate foreign policy goals we seek to enact with this. the soft power that we want to try and export around the world. God, this is an idiot. He's just an idiot.
It is so common that when you click on India's page in the UK Development Tracker website, it hits you with statistics showing how many people gain access to clean water because of British aid. I'm sure if we sent foreign aid to the USA, we'd be able to tout similar statistics, but we don't, because they're a richer country than us and they can sort their own problems out. Other countries that definitely don't deserve overseas development aid include 10.3 million to Turkey, a fellow NATO member where we have a 13% approval rating, 1.6 million to Morocco, who have more high-speed rail than Britain.
Oh God, that's embarrassing. Gee, I didn't even know that was true. Oh no. Morocco are flexing on us. Morocco are flexing on us with high-speed rail. Can Africa put on a rock concert for us? I feel like at this point they need to put on a Live Aid. Give us your fucking money. The people of Britain are starving. Fucking hell. Rats the size of cats, and high-speed rail poorer than Morocco. Fucking hell. Oh.
800,000 to Serbia, a place my parents went on holiday last year. 200,000 to Malaysia, home of the second tallest.
Hang on, what's that? What difference does it make that your parents went there on fucking holiday? What?
Building in the world. £149,000 to scientists in Beijing, 48,600 to Argentina, and a few thousand to Belarus, who is currently helping Russia be the reason for our fourth largest international aid recipient. So, Miss Reeves, can I call you Rachel? Rachel, finding your missing 20 billion budget black hole is easier than you think. You don't need to raise taxes on employers or tighten disability benefits, as I have shown. For just a day spent Googling and reading reports...
Yeah, you really have, mate. You've just spent a day Googling. You've just spent a day Googling and you think you've got it solved. You're a fucking knob. You're a fucking knob, mate. This is tragic. This is fucking awful. Like, I don't want to defend Rachel Reeves. Rachel Reeves is a knob. But at least she has the sense to be like, okay, we can't just cut all fucking charity budgets. We can't eviscerate the fucking RSPB. Like, she'll go after the disabled, but she's not going to go after the pigeons. Actually, the RSPB probably don't do much with pigeons, but it's in their wheelhouse. It falls under their purview, certainly.
Reports found on gov.uk, I've got you 1.6% of the way there. A team of people in your department...
No, you haven't. Am I going mad? This guy's just throwing things together, right? This is rubbish. Yeah, this is rubbish. You know.
Department with access to more detailed information could easily find the remaining 98%. So if you want to give me a shot with that 1,000-page binder, give me a call.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think she will. I don't think she will, mate. Fuck me sideways. Oh, well, that one's angered me. That video has actually angered me to the point where I don't want to carry on now. Yeah, this guy and his fucking fridge temperature IQ. Yeah. Fucking embarrassing. Oh, that was shit, wasn't it? Congratulations to Paris Saint-Germain on being European champions. I hope your Saudi fucking owners are very happy. Presumably the referee now won't be chopped up and fucking have his body melted. Good for him. You seem more disappointed. I am disappointed because there's a potential for a very interesting, like, deep dive into some of those organisations and to maybe see whether we could make some of those savings. But it was just glib rubbish, and I'm insulted. I'm insulted by like the lack of effort the person put in. And you know me, I'm a person who never puts any effort in. But that's why I also don't go around saying I know exactly how the government can just save £22 billion, because you can't. Not that simply, anyway. Even my suggestion of getting rid of the nukes would obviously be enormously controversial. People would definitely notice that shit. That would not be a politically cost-neutral decision. You know? Don't want to carry on the stream all over. No, just the stream, 255. He also made a video saying the US will eventually become a utopia. Well, to be fair, the USA will become a utopia after the nuclear strikes destroy everything on Earth, and then the nuclear winter happens, and then the flora and fauna will return, and the small creatures that have survived live on in the nuclear irradiated pastures of the North American plains. It will then be a utopia, but not before. Anyway, let's see who's going on YouTube, shall we? A bit of a shorter stream today, but, you know, it is what it is. I'll be on with probably No Justice tomorrow, I would imagine. Oh, well, she's going, so I might as well send you all over there. Okie doke, everyone. Go and say hello to No Justice of the MTGs. She is based and awesome and based. Yeah, like I say, I'll probably be back tomorrow with No Justice, so, yeah. Everyone go and follow Boy Meets Minnie and Mad Cat Scotty Eye and whoever else was in today. People who stream. Good people. Free Palestine. No pass around.